Hey guys, it's Otaku J, and for the past two videos, I've just done my initial reactions to the videos we've seen so far. But for today, I just want to add in some analysis and the key differences between the original and the remake of Final Fantasy VII. A keynote worth mentioning, I'm not going to go into details like voice actors, and I'm going to shy away from the graphics. As we all know, they're amazing. I mean, it's clearly see. It's just a fact that's undebatable. After all, it's been 22 years, and we can clearly see they've had more than enough time to shine up the graphics. But in the end, it's going to come down to how true they stayed with the main storyline. Now, I want to start off with mentioning a key detail shown is the dead flower, which proves that the world life force known as Mako energy is being drained out. On that note, I'm beginning to wonder if Ares can actually absorb Mako and transfer it to her flower garden in the church. Honestly, I believe she knows more than she lets on about the white materia. After all, her mother and Flana had tons of knowledge of the ancients and many more before they escaped. And well, I guess I don't want to give out too many spoilers. I also theorized that since Ares is staring at the sparking Mako wire, why is she just staring there, or is the Mako life force actually speaking to her, perhaps? In any case, in the original, I always thought they panned in and out with the starlit sky, and then they zoom back into the Shinra building. But now it seems like it might have just been Mako sparks, or maybe they're doing both and making it a transition for the remake. Also, continuing with Ares, she walks away from the Mako sparks and just leaves. And it's only way later on she gets bumped into and falls to the ground after the reactor blows up, because people are just running everywhere. I mean, it's just chaos. I mean, wouldn't you run if a giant reactor just blew up pretty close within your vicinity? Anyways, with the remake, they all make it one scene and the reactor isn't even blown up, which is odd. I don't know if this was a fact that the developers were not paying attention to, or they just wanted to go ahead and make it one scene. Carrying on with more differences, we're going to go ahead with some minor ones about the train scene. Especially when it arrives to the reactor, it's only Biggs and Jesse who take on both guards separately. Then Barrett and Cloud show up. As to why they put sunglasses on Barrett is an odd choice in my opinion, since it is night. But maybe they just wanted to add it in for him to have a cool factor. Who knows, but clearly it's not going to hide his identity. But man, is he buff. I don't understand why they kept Cloud's dome bolt shoulder armor. It was a bad choice then, and it was a bad design choice now. If anything, they could have just gave him some decent armor. When Genova is revealed for the first time, Sephiroth was never there. As to why they included him in the remake baffles me. Following the canon storyline, we get the red herring clue of his presence with this Masamune sword stuck in the president's back. In reality, any soldier under the influence of Genova could have done this, which actually starts the hunt for Sephiroth, who is stuck in the Great Crater hundreds of miles away. None of this happens until Cloud makes contact with the Genova, and thus I think Genova sets her plot into action, or somehow she provides a psychic link in between her and Sephiroth as they plot together. Also, what's with the new serpent cat eye thing? Is that sort of a signal to Genova's control shift, or is it simply indicating that Sephiroth is no longer human? And was that even a part of Advent Children with Kadaj and the others? Did they have that? Honestly, I can't remember. They did point out that Hojo watches Cloud as his experiment. I have a theory that Hojo knows that Cloud might have ancient bloodlines, and he is able to mostly resist Genova's control while retaining the superhuman or advanced human abilities, which would make him to be considered a first-class soldier in Sephiroth's league. Well, so far he's mostly been able to resist the control, but not always. We've seen that in the game. So what's with this new guy and his personal vendetta attitude? I'd like to know more about him, but I'm not going to delve into it as I actually just want to play the game and find out. As common with remake games, such as Persona 4 Golden, they brought in a new character, Marie, so I'm not surprised Square took the same approach. Then again, with each continued iteration of 7, they always add in new characters while changing the story up in some form or fashion. Here's a hot topic. The Honeybee Inn scene, aka a brothel, which now looks lavish, actually now has a designated owner, but he is vaguely reminiscent from the bodybuilder. In fact, I think they could have used more bodybuilders just to have it as a throwback to the original. However, I'm really disappointed on how Cloud looks as a woman. They could have made Cloud look more attractive, as even Teddy from Persona 4 made for a pretty cute girl in the little competition they had. The whole point of that story is to get to Don Corneo, but maybe the Don just happens to like dominating feisty men in drag, so Cloud just happens to fit the bill. And on the ending notes, I love how the battle system looks like a hybrid of Crisis Core or Kingdom Hearts with the Final Fantasy XV battle style. Turn-based is outdated, but it's a good classic. We've all enjoyed these old RPGs. Well, at least most of us anyway. We even get to enjoy seeing limit breaks such as Barrett's Big Shot. Well guys, that about wraps it up for me. So until next time, this is Otaku J signing out. And before you go, please check out my Final Fantasy VII playthrough if you want to learn more or just caught up in the storyline before the remake is released. And I'm even giving details into some theories I'm thinking about. Alright guys, later.